Many in BC are waking up to the messy aftermath of a bomb cyclone that slammed into the south coast. Hurricane-force winds, they tore down trees, which fell on homes. They downed power lines, blocking roads as well. And this is what just some of the roads looked like this morning in Tsawwassen. Vancouver Island was the hardest hit, with wind gusts from 70 to even 160 kilometers per hour recorded in parts of the island. And this morning, the storm is starting to weaken as it moves north.
The storm system, which has hit its peak, is going to be slowly moving northwestward. So it never actually made landfall, but it was so large that the wingspan still brought some very strong winds. So as it moves away, the damaging winds, the strongest winds ease through the morning and afternoon. And then by this evening and tomorrow, the wind is much lighter.
So these roaring winds caused major outages across Vancouver Island and parts of the lower mainland as well. Right now, BC Hydro says around 90,000 customers are still in the dark, most of them, again, on Vancouver Island. And we're going to take you there. So CBC's Liz MacArthur joins us now from Victoria. Liz, tell us more on the impact on the island from the storm.
Well, this morning we heard from residents across the island, out on the west coast and up on the North Island, about howling winds and driving rain that they were listening to all night. You know, some remote communities like in a Houseit, they had security guards out checking on elders to make sure that they were, safe inside their homes and had everything they needed. Places like a Houseit will be cut off for a while because of the wind and rain, and will go into Tofino for supplies once the storm eases a little bit. We've also seen major highway closures for the North Island and for West Vancouver Island, which means there will be a lot of small, really rural, remote communities that will be without power and without access to the rest of Vancouver Island today. But there are crews out that are working to fix those things. The province and road contractors today have all said, if you don't have to drive on the island, you don't have to. And I think, living on Vancouver Island, we all understand how to prepare for these storms and how to weather them when they happen.
Now, you mentioned some of the highways being shut down, and we know there's a lot of debris. Any idea on how long this cleanup could take?
Well, when we see big storms like this, BC Hydro often has to get a helicopter to go out to a remote area to fix their equipment. Helicopters can't fly in hurricane force winds, and these winds are expected to continue through the morning. So it's really going to be a matter of waiting for conditions to ease. We've seen the province has crews out on the roads as well as road contractors. They're trying to clear trees so that BC Hydro can get in and fix things, and more crews are expected over on Vancouver Island from the mainland. Of course, they're going to have to wait until the weather eases and ferries again can bring them over here. So it could be days in some cases, but BC Hydro is really working. It's got all of its crews on the island trying to fix the outages for people.
All right, well, thank you so much, Liz, and we'll continue to bring you more updates on this aftermath today as well. This powerful storm has brought more ferry cancellations this morning as well. Most routes, including major ones, have been canceled for safety reasons. For example, the first two sailings from Swartz Bay to Tsawwassen and the first two sailings from Departure Bay to Tsawwassen have also been canceled.
Make these decisions based on a couple things: wind speed, wave height, and really at the end of the day, is it safe for our customers and for our crew to be able to sail? They made the decision this morning that the first round trips on most of our routes, including our major routes, they didn't meet that threshold, so that wasn't safe, and so they've canceled those round trips.
BC Ferries says the safety of passengers and crew is top of mind right now, and they will be deciding if there will be more cancellations throughout the day. If you are planning on traveling today, make sure to check their website for the updates. Okay, we're going to go on to the Coquihalla Highway now. So if you're planning on driving there between Merritt and Kamloops, look out for blowing snow. Environment Canada is warning drivers to expect visibility to be poor in some locations where those winds can gust up to 80 kilometers per hour. Similar conditions are also impacting the Okanagan Connector, which links Merritt to Kelowna. Now, those winds should weaken this afternoon, but we did see about 10 centimeters of snow that came over throughout the night.